Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm putting out more videos for the next little while, since my girlfriend's still in isolation and COVID, and well, that seems rough. And so, I'm playing Thea 2, The Shattering, despite her really not liking the Thea series of games. She's never actually seen me play this, but she has a distinct distaste for the first one. But, they're fun, and I thought it would be amusing to torment her a little bit. Alright, so we'll start with a new game here, and I need to pick which god I will be rocking. So there's I don't have all the gods currently unlocked. So I've got options of Whores, who gives bonuses during the night, and also lets me summon a werewolf. I can play Maravit, who's pretty good with magic overall. Also, the Moon Bridge ritual he gets immediate access to is quite nice. Lets you teleport between groups of your little characters that you control. I can play Stribog, who is a good sailor, pretty much. I can play Triglav. He gives everyone a bit of extra XP, and he's pretty good at fighting. And I have the option of Thea, who is god of the undead. So if my main character dies, they become an unliving corpse instead of straight dying, and everyone has a lower chance to actually just die overall. And Thea's benefits seem the most beneficial, and so I'll be rocking her. So from here, I get to build out a little loadout of what I want to play. It's pretty simple to start. I'm looking. Goblin children are good. Goblins have better stat lines than just straight humans, and so they're just always good to run. Again with that, pirate children are orcs, and orcs again, better stat lines than humans. Not complicated. You can see each of them is worth like a certain amount of points, and we have a limit of 8 points to spend. So from here, I've got a few options. Generally, the children are considered quite good, and so I think I'll rock them. Because there's 2 of them for the price of 1 card, as opposed to each of these, which is just a single character, except the Scoundrel and the Rat, but those have to be slotted in where the Pirate Child is. And then I'll take the Hunter, who's pretty good at overall skill challenges. And then I'll be taking two supply things, giving me a bit of extra food and equipment when I start. Yeah, pretty simple. Let's get rolling. So from here I choose which of these characters will be my gods chosen. Generally I like to play either the Goblin Child, or I haven't actually done this before, but play the Pirate Child, who I will name, we'll name them Boar Snout. Because, well, your nose looks a wee bit funky, mate. Right, and then starting world settings, it's a chain of islands, and it's a medium-sized world. Standard things to the game. Forgotten, abandoned, diminished, alone, for centuries I was but a mere memory. Nay, not even that, but the Lady of Winter is no more, the master of the underworld is gone. Finally I take my place once more, mistress of death, bringer of sorrow, keeper of solace and demise. A lot of extra other text. Join me, why would you, fool? Right.
Well, hello there, Chosen. Welcome into the service of the gods. As I am a believer myself, I am happy to be the one to guide you.
Little cute demon with a tooth. Here, who are you?
Theodore's the name, but little old me is not
relevant here.
You are. I am here to tell you of some basic rules and hand over any divine objects that may have been bestowed upon you. First and foremost,
so we can see we've grabbed the cosmic seed. Yep.
Yes, Thea is far from a
Quite
land
pretty.
of prosperity. Darkness was defeated long ago, but it is not gone. It lurks in the corners and attacks at night. The shattering tears the earth asunder, and a scorching light takes hold of folk without protection.
Well, that's generally not good. How does this relate to the seed?
And others like it is a gift of the divine, a piece of the cosmic tree itself. It can grant great boons, and it allows you to set up a village and provide divine protection there. But if you wish for the life of a traveler, or if you are skilled enough to create another seed one day, indeed, you'll catch on fast. Without the seed or different means that other factions may possess, a village attracts the cursed light and is taken by it within days. And if somehow that does not happen, terrors of darkness will drive your folk insane.
That's generally not
good. This is how it has been in Thea. I may pop up now and again to tell you things, but for now, you must take your first steps into this hostile land.
Cool.
Remember to check for resources on the map for gathering.
Cool. So he's given us some stuff, so just to see the resources, so we can see there's meat and seaweed, but generally this early in, so we're in the summer season, so everyone who's gathering, which happens when I set up camp, I can assign people to gather resources. Those people get XP every turn, so I'm generally going to be looking for a bit of a resource hotspot. And just before we do anything, I want to take a quick look at my equipment. So the equipment situation is bad. It's really bad. Okay, well this iron crafting tool will go on. So you can see everybody's got different classes. For example, child, Anvil means a crafter, which is why I gave them the crafting tool. We've got the hunter, and then we have gatherer, who's good at resource collection. So these little blue areas are like ruins that can be explored. So we're just gonna move here for the first turn, and we're going to set up camp. And you can see, because we're within a 1 tile radius of these 2 tiles, can gather from either of them. And so I'll set up you two to gather me some berries, and I'll set up some of the children to gain XP. So my orc and my goblin children are my most valuable characters, because basically children have a set number of turns before they grow up, which I can find here. So you can see there's 26 turns till they grow up, and before that happens, basically I want to get as many levels onto them as possible. The more levels they have, the more stats they get. The more stats they get, the better classes they have as options when they turn into a full adult. And so I'm trying to get them the extra XP that we get from summer.
As tradition has it, your god sent me to guide your first steps on this new and bewildering island. To get us started.
Yep.
If you have food and wood, they are always good to stock up on. You need both to heal when camped, and you need a variety of foods to better heal your mental wounds and keep morale high. Oh, do you know what?
No.
You are all followers of your deity.
Yep.
But your gods speak.
Okay, so my chosen is the little pirate child, the blue orc.
Bond. So if you die, that's it. Your god loses power, and good. Finally, my first task for you. Cook or find me some more food, please. To do it, set up camp and choose.
Okay, so I need to make some food. So he said either gather or make. So you can see I've gathered 10 fruit, but I also have the option of cooking in this little stone furnace, and I have the option, if I had more meat, to put together a sweetmeat. So we're going to break down camp, and we're going to head out to explore its ruins. Ruins you are about to search have an unsettling stench of decay about them. So I can either scout the area first, search the ruins carefully, or I can leave. Let's scout the area. You observe the quiet remains of a once great city, and soon realize among the fog walk the unliving and their breath exuding toxic cloud. Right, so this is the bread and butter of Thea. I'm given options, and we can see there's various colours associated with them. So I can attempt to attack the undead, and that has a difficulty of 1, and it's a physical challenge. I can try to sneak past them to loot the ruins, which also has a difficulty of 1, and it's a physical challenge, but if I win this physical challenge, so at the end of this, if I win a fight, I'll take damage. It's fully coloured in. If I win the sneaking, I won't take damage, though there might be other ramifications for sneaking past them, because you can see it's not fully coloured, it's just a red border. And then finally, I can try to devise a tactical plan to defeat them, which is yellow, not fully bordered. And so I want to show off card combat, so why don't we use Element of Surprise and get into a little scuffle. So I can auto-resolve this, and my team would win with injuries, meaning you're victorious, but if you fought against another group, at least one of your characters has lost up to half their hit points. Characters at 30% and below of either their hit points or their sanity have the chance of dying. Oops, I did not mean to hit accept outcome. Well, that's on me for not paying attention. But we can see here that this character Urban has lost 4 hit points, Boar Snout, my chosen, has lost 2, and nobody else has lost hit points, and everybody has gained a physical blessing, giving them increased movement speed and extra health. And 2 of the characters have gotten a mental blessing, giving them extra wisdom and intelligence. The various stats are used for various things. For example, wisdom helps with crafting, gathering, overall mental hit points, that kind of thing. So we get some items here. We can take a look what they do. So in the inventory we got some clay, which is decent at being for crafting some various things. And then in the equipment we got a malachite hammer, which is really good at thumping people over the head. And so I want to look for who has, we can see its associated stats at strength, with a little beefy flexing arm. So we want to look at strength values, which we can sort. And we can see Miss Slider has the highest strength value, however. His wisdom is far higher than his strength, and he's currently using a wisdom-based weapon, and so we'd rather keep doing that. So the next person who's not using their most optimal is actually my chosen. And so we'll hand them the malachite hammer, so hopefully they're not useless in combat. And then I picked up a dark gathering tool. The little trash means it's, well, of trash quality. It was, we had bad luck in forging it, but, you know, it's all I have for right now, and so we'll equip it to whoever has the highest gathering, which is Vizlava, who is a gatherer. Makes sense. And so we want to head towards this other ruins, but I also want to explore at the same time. So we're going to move 2 boots towards here, and unfortunately not find any other resources. We're going to set up camp, gather some meat, we're going to call it a turn. And that's pretty much the gameplay loop of Thea.
And here,
it's a pretty simple game.
A good drink too. Now, the same way you cooked, you can also craft equipment and later buildings in your village. You can also design recipes to see how they will turn out.
Okay.
Oh, and if you make special food, you need to save for something. Or, more likely, you gather good wood or better food, and you do not want it eaten or burnt. Make sure to exclude.
Yep.
And don't forget to spend your research points. You can see your research tree at the top
Cool.
right.
So we can see the glass he was referring to here, and so I can prevent the use of new fuel items, which is good, because I have the bog standard wood, and that's the lowest quality of wood, and so it's ideally the one that's the only one being burnt. For foodstuffs, I'm not too worried about them using it, because using different foodstuffs gives better morale bonuses, and I'd rather my people had good morale at this point in the game. And then we can see the research up here. There's 4 different sides to it. There's the general, like, what resources can I gather? So we haven't seen any examples of higher tier resources, but for example, we saw clay that I got from the fight. If I picked that, I could gather clay if we found it in the wild. Then there's the various implements. For example, I can research how to make swords, and I can make swords using these resources. Then there's various foods. For example, I want to make goblin recipes. I can unlock that. And then there's various buildings. For once I build a village, there's various rituals to make my people more powerful, and also remove curses. There's rituals to summon people to fight for me. These ones. This one summons a boat. This one gives me extra sight. This is the Moon Bridge ritual that teleports my people to each other. And then there's some other rituals. Right, so it's a new turn. So let's hit up this ruin that we came. As you scour some old ruins for loot, you notice you're not the first to arrive. But the other group does not see you yet, but this may change at any moment. Do I want to investigate, leave, or just attack them? Well, I don't know who they are, so I want to investigate. Looks like they are these are scavengers, a rugged, scruffy lot, pillaging what they can from the ruins. You took the time to scout, so now you're in a better position for a tactical attack. Well, so some factions you can form relations with, and I'm familiar that scavengers are one, so I'd like to approach them and offer a deal to search the ruins together. So we can see I can auto-resolve this, but like I meant to a few turns earlier, I'm going to manual this so we can get a look at what fighting looks like. And pretty much it's a two-row system, and everybody's got various abilities. So for example, my chosen Boar Snout can punch people for 1 damage. This guy has 19 damage. We can see he does 9 damage, and he'll move 12.7 seconds into combat. I'm just going to turn down combat speed so we can see what's happening. And so I'd rather he didn't hit anyone. So I've got some options here. I can throw someone out who's strong enough to just tank the hit. So we've got, 33 health, 1 armor, more than adequate. The other option is I can throw in a summoning, like this demon my goblin child can summon, and they'll absorb the hit, and because they're not a party member, I don't really care about their hit points. And so that's what I'm going to do. So you can see the demon's got 2 hit points, does no damage, but don't really care. It's just there to absorb the hit, because he's forced to target the first enemy in the melee row in front of him, and only if there's no one there, can he target whoever he wants. And so once that's done, I'm going to place down my person who does the 12 damage, and hopefully let them clobber someone. And so we go around, and basically we get points to place our people, and beat each other up. So I've got a few options. What I'm considering is, this person does 9 damage with their shots, which is a fair bit, and I'd like it if they nuke someone off the map for me. And so I'm going to set them up for that. So we can see if I'm playing the same person again, it costs me more action points, whereas if I'm playing someone for the first time in a combat, that costs me only a single action point. So she's got not a lot of damage, but enough hit points that I'm okay with just throwing her in, hopefully absorb a shot. So they've doubled up on this person, and so ideally we want to kill them, because once they're dead, all of their associated actions are removed, so they won't be able to deal the 9 damage once, 9 damage twice. But before that, so I've got some options. I'll show off the Hunter's Mark, which lowers combat attributes of the attacker character and increases their delay. So if we see they do 9 damage currently, I select them for the skill, they now do 6 damage across both of them. And if we looked, their turn orders have gone, one of them was before whoever this was, now they're after her, Vislava. I'll end my turn there, so I've only got 1 more action point I can get, so I'll be repeating someone. So we can see he's been buffed by something. Strength of the Swarm, meaning every time a new character's added to the battlefield, he gets extra powerful. And so I want to throw something out, and well, actually, maybe I don't. See, all of the children have really low hit points and can be one-shot by him, and I'd rather it didn't happen. So we're just going to end turn, we're going to start off the combat. So we can see, so the first shot has gone down from the demon doesn't do damage, that's fine. So I've got the first shot, and my range is allowed to target anyone, and they do 9 damage. So basically, whoever they target is going to get wiped off the field. And as it stands, I would rather target whoever this is. I don't get names, because they do a combined 18 damage, because it's 2 of them, versus the 12 damage done by this other one. So I'm going to hit them once. And then this one, unfortunately he was a random attack, because they were evenly spaced from him. But he does a fair bit of damage to them. And this first shot was mitigated, thankfully. If you saw they did 27 damage, that's because they do double damage against summons, which was a little tag they have there. And they also had it. So this 4 damage isn't going to kill them, but it will kill them and prevent 2 attacks. And so I'm going to cancel the attack there, and move it on to the person with 2 hit points, wipe them off the map before they can do any damage. Excellent. We're just going to speed up combat a bit now. So we've taken a hit, we've lost a few hit points, but it's not a big deal. We've got first move, and also second move, and so we're just going to wipe whoever this is off the map. Awesome. Easy stuff. And yeah, that's the bread and butter of this game. And so I've beaten them, so I suppose if you give us some food, we can let you search this place, or we could trade with what we found so far. I don't have a lot of food, but I have enough food that I don't mind handing it in to get some hopefully better loot. So give them some food, and they say, "You seem like honest types, and we're hungry. Deal. And since we ain't stupid enough to mess with your gods, you can search the south and west of here. Be careful of the east, though. The air seems foul there, and 2 of ours never came back to say what's hiding there. So we probably don't want to explore the east. That seems needlessly stupid, so we'll check out the west. And we get some iron and a bone spear. Right, and so we've still got 2 more movement, and we've got something to explore up here, so we're going to head up there, we're going to set up camp, and then we're going to gather some food. So, meat's generally more valuable than fruit, and because I only have enough gathering to gather one of them, I'm going to focus on meat. Because yeah, the maths doesn't line up, because it's 2 slots limited. So I showed the cooking, so I'm going to cook up some sweetmeats now. So I'm going to put the meat and fruit to make me 12 rollada, which is a nice chunk of meat rolled with veggies, herbs, or anything else you found and baked. Because this turns 8 into 12, that's just pretty good value. And so we'll make 2 of this, hopefully. Nope, okay, we will be making 1. We don't have enough crafting, because you can see we're crafting 56 a turn towards what we need of a 50. And so I'll end my turn there. And I really should have thrown someone onto the second gathering slot for the extra bonus XP, but that's me being dumb. Right, so we can see she's leveled up, and there's a bunch of stats which look confusing. If we just read through, intelligence, primary mental attribute, you can see it's a little book on her thing, and it affects research and crafting abilities, insanity. Well, we know she's our gatherer, she's only mainly interested in gathering, which is this stat, and so we're more interested in, we can see listed here, the skills that bump up gathering are perception, wisdom, and destiny, and intelligence is not one of them. But the first skill listed gets +2, so that's nice. So here we can see 2 skills that are listed that bump up our gathering. There's perception, a secondary physical attribute, affecting gathering, luck, and health, and there's destiny, which affects gathering, crafting, research, rituals, luck, and faith. To my vague, lukewarm kind of understanding, if we take a look, we can see perception's worth 2 towards the gathering, whereas the destiny's worth 0.3, meaning it's 1/10 as effective per point put into destiny versus perception, which is tentative 50-50. And so we'd rather gather more perception to be better at gathering. Right, so we're going to check out this house that was recommended to us in the quest.
You find Theodore's abandoned house. It is nestled amongst some trees and looks rather old.
I'm going to go in.
Inside, the place is surprisingly lived in and well taken care of. There is even a fireplace. You hear an old woman's voice croak at you.
Well, 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 dinner guests. How splendid. Do come and stay forever.
Well, that's not good.
There is no way out. The doors are gone. You will have to face this hag to escape.
So, if we look, we can see I can fight her, I can try to outwit her, or I can try to convince her to let me go. I'm actually going to go with the intelligence, because if we look at the bordering again, we'll see, no matter how I do in the challenge, I'm not going to take damage from it. And so that seems efficient. So I'm just going to auto-resolve that, because I won't take damage, even if I would have in another version.
You are smart. I won't eat you. In fact, here is a small gift before I go, Chosen.
A package is left for you, and the hut changes back into an old, decrepit building.
I'm going to take
Theodore
that.
appears.
Well done indeed. As Chosen, it is your job to stay alive. You must either dominate the lands or solve the Shattering's mystery, or else all is lost. And for that, you must live. I shall be back soon to give you a final task.
He disappears.
I'm going to leave. And we're going to continue exploring while it's still daylight, so we can see it's turning towards night. Unfortunately, no resources, so I don't feel the need to set up camp, because nobody's been damaged in a bit. So somebody's got a level. This is my crafter. So my crafter's interested in, obviously, crafting. And so that means they want intelligence, wisdom, and destiny. Destiny bumps towards everything, but it's a pretty low bump. And so if we look at the rough ratios, intelligence trades at a 5 intelligence is worth roughly one crafting, whereas wisdom is roughly 2 wisdom is worth 1 crafting, and so wisdom's our ideal, and so we're going to take it even though intelligence gives us a little bit more. We'd get 2 intelligence instead of the 1. So we're going to move up, and oh, we are not getting lucky with resources. Are we? I see. If we look at the map, we're in a pretty tiny little peninsula. But up ahead we can see resources that I haven't researched yet. So we've got dryad wood and elven wood. And if I wanted to gather either, I would need to do the associated researches here. I don't feel the need for either right now. Right now we're just kind of looking to explore, get a lay of the land, maybe do some more of the ruins that I kind of showed off. Yeah, there's nothing more here. So we're going to push back up. So if I look at the little continent we're on, we can see by the little pinging, I should be going up. And so that's what I'm going to start doing. Ideally we want people to be gathering in this season, because I've mentioned before, they get bonus experience for it. And so we're going to stop off here. Oh. Are we? No, we're going to move one up, because there's now a new ruins associated. And then we're going to gather, because we want more meat. And then we're going to hit up this little ruins. The ruins are old and decrepit, likely already looted many times over, but you never know what hidden secrets you may yet uncover. South area seems less traversed, but also unstable. Let's take a risk. We're going to hit up the south area. I get spices, which are food, and I get scaled leather, which is a better type of leather. And then I'm going to move up. And I'm going to start one to the left for this evening, so that I get the chance to gather 2 resources. And so I'm going to gather meat, and I'm going to gather seaweed. And hopefully we can put together more sweetmeats. Oh, not enough crafting left in the party. It's not super worth removing him. I'd rather have the seaweed and the XP on him than extra sweetmeats. And wow, everybody's going up a level now. So Urban, as a ranger, is primarily interested in perception. It's what bumps most of his abilities, so it's what we're going to take. Urzu, so the children are undetermined in what they can become, but based on what stats they pick up, they become more suited to various things. And so I like to give the +2 here to wisdom, and we just see where he goes. For myself, I'll take that +2 to mysticism. For you, we'll take the +2 to wisdom, and for you, we'll take the +2 to intelligence. And we'll just see how things go. Right, we're going to continue pushing up. It's nighttime, I don't have as much vision, it's not good. Basically it's hard to see resources and just interesting areas. But we're going to keep pushing. And that's the end of turn 10. Oh, you wake at night, discover a Shikshack eating your supplies. Shoot away, kill it. Theodore, which is the demon we met at the start. I'm gonna shoo it away. Spits out his food, almost chokes. Shit, you scared me. I mean, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry for stealing your stuff. Wasn't my idea. Swears. Whose idea was it then? Oh, I'm not allowed to say directly. Demon laws. But I can tell you the story of mine. Yeah, I'm gonna listen. I was playing a game of Curve with a couple of mates. A Hocklick, a Pineconet, and a Tooth Fairy fella. Well, you likely do not know this, but them Tooth Fairies, they're real bullies. So me and Fricks, the Hocklick, we decided to, you know, teach the bully a lesson, beat him at the game well and good. And he cheated. Cheat is such a mortal word. When us demons played, it's more, who cheats best. But yeah, we tried to cheat more, you could say. And together. Only things went wrong. The bully found you out and made you steal things? What? Nah. Tooth Fairies are only good for pulling them teeth out, and I got plenty. Yeah, I guess he's got a few. That was not the real issue. Freaks. But I can't. The Shikshack starts to choke violently and puffs up. Well, you feel for him, but what does it all have to do with you? Well, you see, I'm a pawn now, but those who play, I think you may be the target. By those who play? What? To those who play? Probably. So even if you kill me, you'll likely just get jinxed by them lot. And I can't say more. I'm already spilling more beans than I should, and only because you pissed me off that... Chokes again, so you help me and I help you, I swears. So I can kill him, or... which means I'll probably get cursed. Or, so how exactly will this affect me? Will this affect you? More stealing demons? Yeah, and worse, depending on how the game goes. They want to make you angry, swear a lot, then they get points. So making you sick, stealing from you, making you trip, step on nails, right, basically being a little assholes. Anyways, can't say more, the demon laws will burn my tongue. It's not great. So how can I sort this out? Well, only a demon can enter the curve game, and even then, only one with an invite. Got me 2 mates who can get you in. One's a Sumak, so he's a shy fella, and will take some skill to seek him out. The other, she's a Dollar. Not your typical sort to deal in games, but she knows things, so I'm sure she can get you in. Choose one friend. Wish I could. Will he come with you then? Wish I could. Banned by laws, you see, and if I happen to do nasty shit to you before we sort this out, I truly am sorry, and please don't kill me. Green Frog appears around the shack and he disappears, his face slightly panicked, but he leaves behind a map that has an inscription. Choose one friend you will visit. I'm gonna visit the Dola because I can pronounce that name. Right, but I was gonna say, it's the end of turn 10, so I'm going to end the video here because I've taken a long time explaining the early rules of this game. Have a good day.